and this is how we get down. Holiday weekend for who? We've got you covered. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, into your favorite daily sports and sports betting brand of record. We like to call it Coach and Company. We're here every single weekday on the Stadium Network and everywhere that you can find Stadium, Prime Video, DirecTV, YouTube TV, Vizio, LG. We're available in over 100 million homes. Now, over the course of the next 60 minutes, we got a lot of topics, not a ton of games, but that's why we discuss a lot of basketball. We're going thumbs up, thumbs down. We've got one word. Mike Brown, my favorite NBA coach, has a new home in the Big Apple. How do my guys feel about that hire for the Knicks? And also Clayton Kershaw, 3,000 strikeouts as a lefty. Not bad. But before we get to all of that, a little bit of housekeeping. And I told you yesterday, we needed a bounce back Wednesday. Little did I know that it would be Big Tommy C that'd be coming through for the team, the absolute most. How about a nice little 5-2 day? That's nice. My man Tommy, even his rant, the Yankees did what he wanted. Big Tommy C moving lines? I think so. Now, do not forget, we have a ton of content coming out of BTT Studios, including the Coach and Bro Show, which also airs right here on the Stadium Network. You saw it last night at 11 p.m. Eastern Time. Also this morning at 6 a.m. Eastern Time. And if you missed any of that, you can catch it on demand on our BTT YouTube page. Now, we also have a new show, part of the universe, at Sirius XM. What a start. Off the Ropes, channel 156, 2 to 4 Eastern Time. I encourage you to check us out. Today, me and Mark Henry. It'll be a different co-host with me every single day. More pro wrestling. Stadium viewers, you know they're buying into pro wrestling, so we're going to do more. All right. That's all the housekeeping we need. I've got to get ready to go. So do you hear that? The company's ready to come in. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to beat the books. You know what time it is. By the way, we will have a show tomorrow. It just will not be on Stadium, so you got to watch on YouTube or on social media. And look who I have today. It's like an embarrassment of riches. Where do I start? How about the man whose city is not getting a WNBA franchise? Live from Memphis, Tennessee, my man DG. How are you doing this morning, DG?
I'm doing good, Coach. I'm feeling very poopy, if you don't mind.
You're feeling what?
Very poopy.
Oh my God.
I don't know if birds
what is this?
are real, but I was watering the flowers like I always do every morning about 6:45, 7 a.m. And I had some friends join me, and they were from up above. And no, it's not angels. It was birds, and they just completely just pooped all over me. And this has never happened. I'm getting old. I didn't realize this one thing could actually still happen in life where you just have new things continue to happen. So, yes, birds pooped on me.
I thought this was more of a metaphor for how your picks have been going lately. But, hey, that's neither here nor there. And by the way, did you wake your wife up to take that picture too? What are we doing? What are we doing?
Bro, she's already awake. She's awake for me. Let's get real.
All right, next, he is live from the East Coast, the only 5-star chef in the game. You can see his Stadium Eats all over. Watch stadium.com, Bally's Live, wherever. My man Seabass, good morning, sir. No! What are we doing? We've got poop and we got mute.
What I was saying was good morning, and you know when a bird poops on you, it's generally a sign of good luck.
Apparently not.
Nope.
Apparently not.
Saying that's what they say.
All right, so far 0 for 2. Now, he's our numbers guy for a reason. Say good morning to Raphael Esparza. Good morning, Raphael.
Boy, do I feel the pressure. But good morning, everybody. Good morning, Coach. Great show again last night. I can't wait to listen to Mark Henry on your show today. I've always been a big fan of him. I'm sure you guys be talking about lifting weights because you guys' bodies look the same, but it should be a great show.
Can't tell if that was a shot or not. I'll take it as not.
Kind of both.
Now, the man who's become, young man, who's become very, very creative with his videos. And yesterday, Seabass gave it a big old thumbs up, not even in the segment. Say good morning to King Lettuce, Young Peyton, Mr. Lodge. Good morning.
Good morning, guys. I gotta admit, I'm a little tired this morning from our watch party we had last night. I'm sure you guys all stayed up as well for one of SoCal's all-time most anticipated baseball moments. Yeah, Jorge Soler's 200th career homer, an absolute smash out to left off of Dylan Dodd, 87-mile-an-hour cutter on a 1-0 pitch. Never forget it. I'll never
Come
forget
on.
it.
It's all about moments, baby. It's all about the moments. All right. Now, we were 5-2 yesterday. That's a great day. Any day, that's a great day. But it's all about day number 2. Can you back it up? So, DG, I want to start with you. What are our best bets today?
Yeah, we're going to go to the WNBA first, and we're going to go with Jackie Young. She plays for the Aces. We're going to go over the 7.5 rebounds plus assists. It's at -118. She's had 8+ rebounds and assists in 8 straight games. She just had 7 and 7 going up against the Fever just 2 weeks ago. All we need is 8 combined rebounds and assists. And then we're going to go to the diamond here, and we're going to attack young Peyton here and his Angels. Bryce Elder, he sucks. But you know what? Who sucks more? The Angels. And they strike out at a very high level, the second most in the league. All we need is 5 strikeouts from Bryce Elder. And it's at -120, but I'm feeling so good today that we're going to keep and roll with our guy, Bryce Elder.
He's going to keep it roll with his guy, Bryce Elder. Very soupy-ish right there. Young Peyton, how do you feel about DG coming straight at you?
You know, he said the Angels suck. They're 2.5 out of the playoffs right now. I believe the Atlanta Braves. Yeah, let me look. 6.5 out of the playoffs. Let's just throw.
Snap!
I don't
They
know.
suck too.
Snap! Wow.
You know,
All right, DG, you got people coming at you all over the place. My writing right now is in the chat is so small I can't read it, but I know that Mikey P is here, and I know every time you're on DG, Mikey feels a certain can't quite figure it out with you two. Just can't quite get along right now. I don't know what it is.
Like the little brother, coach. I know you know how that feels. Little brother.
All right, Young Peyton, coming over to you. What are your best bets today?
we're going with the over today at Coors Field in a day game. It's about 90 degrees out there. The scoreboard operator is going to keel over from exhaustion today because it's Kyle Freeland on the mound. I mean, this is ridiculous. This is a day game, Coors Field, Astros, Rockies. We're going over 11 at -119. Also, Mariners to cover the 1.5 at plus money. Brian Wu on the mound for them at home, who has an ERA of 2.08 at T-Mobile Park. I don't think we see many runs scored for the Royals tonight, so I like the Mariners to just get a few runs off of Seth Lugo at home. We're going to take them to cover.
All right. By the way, one of the favorite words that we have here in our universe is synergy. And guess what, Young Peyton? Our resident hottest capper every single day, Big Chuck. Even when he's not here, he is here. He has one play, and it is in said Astros-Rockies game. And all we need is Christian Walker to go over half an RBI. 1 RBI, we cash. In a game where, as Young Peyton said, we should see plenty of runs. We have another nice matchup today. Those are the words of Mr. Chuck. Christian Walker, 343 lifetime against Kyle Freeland. 2 bombs, 7 ribbies. Let's go, Young Peyton. You and Big Chuck doing things together. Now, do not forget about Chuck's side hustle. So many of you have already signed up. If you haven't yet, make it a part of your day. We'll throw up the QR code throughout the show. That's what Producer Man absolutely does. In the meantime, I'm coming over to Seabass. And Seabass, I need some bangers today. Where are we going?
Of course, Coach. That's what I provide. I did go 2-0 yesterday. We'll back that up today again because, as DG said, Bryce Elder does suck. And we're going to take the Angels on the money line first 3 innings today. You got Soriano going for the Angels. He's got a 3.99 ERA, but on the road, he brings that down almost a whole point to 2.78. He's allowed 7 runs in his last 5 games on the road with a 4-1 record in those first 3 innings, whereas Elder, his ERA balloons to a 6.5 at home. He's given up 17 runs in the first 3 innings of the last 5 games that he's pitched. So we'll take the Angels even money first 3 innings on the money line. Then we'll go back over to the WNBA. Phoenix Mercury under 23.5 points in the first quarter today. Dallas only allows 20 points at home in the first quarter. Phoenix is only scoring about 21, 22 points. They've gone under this total in 82% of their games this year, including 8 of the last 10 and 7 of 9 versus Dallas and one time that they met this year. So take Phoenix under 23.5 first quarter points.
The W a lot of play lately. Certainly when Seabass is on the show. We absolutely love that. All right, Raphael, big boy, coming over to you. I know you've been busy, but not too busy for a banger today. Let's go.
I'm going to start off with Peyton's thing. I think he said Wu was on the mound today. The Mariners had a pitching change an hour and a half again. It's actually Logan Evans on the mound for the Seattle Mariners, so keep an eye out for that one. But my first place coming out of the CFL. That's right. Week 5 starts today in the CFL. Give me the Blue Bombers team total over 26.5. Yes, they're 3-0 straight up. Yes, they're 3-0 against the spread. And yes, they're averaging 32 points a game in those 3 games. I think they have a lot of points scored on the road today against Calgary. And then we hit this back-to-back exclusive. So I'm giving it out to everybody today. Give me my Cubs total hits over 8.5 today, plus 110. Last night, they had 9 hits. Their last 10 games, they're averaging 9.6 per game. I think this one flies over again. Wind blowing in, so it's going to be a lot of small ball today in Wrigley.
Pitching change. I'm glad you said something because even at ESPN.com, they still have Brian Wu as the starter of the Mariners. So they're at least 2 hours behind as well. Give that name one more time. And then, Peyton, do you still want to make your play? Are you still cool with it?
Yes, I will. Because if you look at Logan Evans, just an ERA of 3, and he's 2-0 at home. So I still like it at T-Mobile Park with Logan Evans.
All right, very good. That's how a team works together, Raphael and young Peyton. All right, now, are we bothering you, Mark? Oh, we're oh no! Oh, well, what are we doing?
I was so caught with the mile, Coach. I was trying to update everything.
No.
Both me and Seabass are looking for birds.
What's that?
I said both Seabass and I are looking for birds.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. 2 mutes and an excuse all in one segment. I had this great lead in. I was going to put you over, say how great JT. I was going to do all of that. Not now. Not now. What is our JTS play of the day?
We're going to start with LA Sparks' Derek Hamby to go over 20 points and rebounds tonight. She's torched defenses on the road lately, cleared this line in 8 of her last 9. Look for her to stay aggressive with her drives and second chance rebounds to carry her past the 20 tonight against the Liberty. We're going to pair that with Miami Marlins' Xavier Edwards to get over 1 hit tonight. This afternoon. He's done this in 10 of his last 12 games at home, and he's a perfect 5 for 5 against Minnesota. Look for him to get at least 1 base knock against a very hittable David Fester. Put them both together for a plus 108. Just Stat Sports Play of the Day.
And if you want to be a part of what we're doing, there is the QR code right there. Download it. Then use our code BTT30. You get 30 days for free. And today is July 30th, which means you get for free all the way into August. Then after that, all you're going to say is, Coach, thank you, and be on your way. And we may or may not be able to hear you if you handle the mute button like my guys handle their mute button. DG, he's on your show. He's on your show. Can you handle him, please?
That mute. We're off today for Mark, so it looks like just me and Robbie will be taking over weekday wager. So Mark is off today now.
Interesting. That's exactly what I would have done. That's great leadership right there. That's great leadership right there. All right, we're just getting started. Sort of. Still to come. Not 1 great segment, but 2. We're playing 1 word, and we're going very, very deep. Thumbs up. Thumbs down. This is Coaching Company. Always a thumbs up. Live on Stadium. All right. Tomorrow is July 4th. It is a holiday for the entire nation. And guys, I got to think it's because we will be live tomorrow, not on Stadium, so it'll be probably a condensed show. But what is the favorite July 4th food that you're going out today to get at the grocery store, fight the crowds, and bitch about not doing it on Monday or Tuesday. DG, what would yours be?
Yeah, from Memphis, this is understood for me. We're going watermelon, coach. You can't get anything better for the 4th of July than watermelon, just some cold, juicy watermelon.
Seabass.
Yeah, I'm not a watermelon fan. No, you got to get the Rocket Pops, the red, white, and blue ones, because hello, America, Rocket Pops.
The Rocket Pops.
Yeah.
Boy, Peyton lit up when you said Rocket Pops.
Well, he's still a young child. Of course.
Peyton, is the Rocket Pops your thing?
I lit up because I'm thinking rockets. I'm thinking fireworks, baby. Oh, yeah. Let's go. Let's go. Yep. Go to the store, pick up some fireworks. Boom. Have it popping. Come on now. 4th of July.
You can't eat fireworks.
Did he miss the question?
Oh, sorry. I thought you just meant go to the store, pick up something from the store for 4th of July. Eat something. Eat something.
What is going on today?
I don't know.
Like,
I don't have it.
Did everybody just say, holiday starts tomorrow, I'll start today? That's what it feels like.
Well, it was my Jorge Soler watch party, Coach. I was a little up a little bit last night.
Jorge Soler. Jorge Soler. In our history in the last couple of years, there's been a Jorge Soler. If you know, you know. Raphael, can you answer the question?
Yes, I don't eat this a lot because my cardiologist tells me not to, but I eat a hot dog on 4th of July. It's because it's America. It's what you do. You eat a hot dog. So it's probably one of the rare things I do on the 4th of July.
Would it have killed you to just say I eat a hot dog on July 4th without the heart stuff that now makes me feel guilty? Did I even ask you about July 4th? Now I feel bad.
My cardiologist watches the show, and he actually does.
What are we doing? We're back live in 5 seconds. All right, welcome back, everybody. Coming up at the bottom of the hour, a very special edition of One Word. Did the Knicks make the right decision? Did the NBA make the right decision? That's coming up in One Word in about 15 minutes. However, before we get to thumbs up, thumbs down, I need to see my man Raphael, because the NBA says, hey, I don't care if it's July. We want all the attention. And part of that is Zion and Giannis for the first time ever potentially being mentioned in trade talks. Anything on that?
I know everyone's hearing that Giannis is very upset what they did to Damian Lillard, even though they brought back someone, but not like Damian Lillard's scoring effect. But I'm hearing from the Pelicans, from my great sources in New Orleans, they're telling me they're going to let Zion play for New Orleans, and maybe if he can stay healthy and have some good numbers, maybe move him during the trade deadline. Because you figure some teams in the East might need a big score, or maybe even some teams in the West can use a nice score for that playoff push. So I see both teams. I think the Pelicans keep Zion and trade him in a trade deadline. And I think Giannis stays and maybe do the same thing.
Okay, so trade deadline from not your great sources, but your great sources in New Orleans. That's next level.
Had happy hour dinner with them yesterday.
You had happy hour. I'm learning a lot about you today, Raphael. A lot of personal nuggets today on the show. By the way, I like that particular collar of your Coach and Company shirt. That's nice. Maybe we'll have a vote one day on which color we like the most. We'll see. Raphael, thank you very much. Now, I need my three guys. I need to see Peyton. I need to see Seabass. I need to see DG, because it's time to play something even Soupy could figure out, and it's called Thumbs Up and Thumbs Down. So, young Peyton, I'm going to start with you. This one is a little bit tricky because we're going to use both to answer this question. I know it's very, very, very difficult, DG. So, Zion is a thumbs up. Giannis is a thumbs down. Which player do you think is more likely to get traded this season? Zion up, Giannis down. Young Peyton, go.
I'm going with Giannis. I'm not sure there is much of a market out there for Zion Williamson right now. He is due $40 million next year, and then $42 and $44 million in 27 and 28. He's had trouble staying on the court, and he may be embarking on trouble off the court with those peaky sexual assault allegations. So I don't think any team wants to mess around with that. I'm going with Giannis.
I'm going to go Zion only because some of those reasons they want to get rid of him. I just really believe Giannis when he says he wants to be a one-team player. He wants to spend his career in Milwaukee. So I just don't see him going anywhere or wanting to go anywhere. I guess at the end of the day, though, it's up to ownership, but I'll still take Zion.
Oh, we're going to double thumbs up. This is an easy one because the reason that Damian Lillard got stretched is because it's simple. They want to keep on to Giannis. If they did not, they would have kept on their money and honestly kept Damian Lillard. But they want to go ahead and continue to build around Giannis in that aspect. So Zion, I'm sorry, dude, you're just not producing. They're going to get what they can out of him and just kind of move on.
I'm going to agree with young Peyton. I'm going to go with Giannis. I just think that Zion is such a gamble. And it's not even about the allegations or anything off the court. This is strictly about him on the court, which he hasn't been able to do his entire career. Now, he did lose the weight, but he still did not play a full season. When he is out there, he is dynamic. And he is a beast, which is why he got that extension at $40 million plus for multiple years. But when you don't play, that is just dead money. I'm going Giannis. So 2 and 2 equals 4. Now, topic number 2. Now, just because LeBron James opted in for $53 million does not mean that he is going to be a Laker next season. His agent, Rich Paul, had some very interesting quotes about the Lakers and their immediate future. He basically said, and I'm paraphrasing here, that we're going to sit on the sidelines and see what the Lakers do to build around LeBron to build a winner for 2025, 2026. And then we'll make our decisions, essentially. You just opted in. You don't get to make the decision. So, young Peyton, thumbs up, thumbs down that LeBron James is a member of the Lakers this coming season.
Thumbs up. This is LA, and let's not forget, even though there is new ownership, Jeannie Buss loves her stars. Plus, what title contender is really going to break up what they have to allow LeBron come in and take over their entire franchise? Let the LeBron farewell tour begin, because I think this is his last year. He has his son on the team. He's a 45-minute flight to his other son, Bryce, who's at the University of Arizona, and his wife, Savannah, wants him to play one more year and shut it down.
I'm going to go thumbs up that LeBron remains a Laker, but thumbs down Rich Paul. This guy just runs his mouth so much. First of all, nobody's building around LeBron anymore. He's 40 years old. We're building around Luka and the rest of the team to create a championship. Not for you, LeBron, for the franchise. Thumbs down Rich Paul.
I like the thumbs down on Rich Paul, but I'm going to go thumbs up for sure on LeBron being a Laker. The simple fact is he's shown his cards. He opted in, first time he's ever opted in. But it's very simple to me. He wants to be out in LA. He wants to have that life, play for the Lakers. He doesn't really care about winning. If he did, he would have already made his decision to take less money, but he didn't.
I'm going to say thumbs down. I think he wants to shock the world. And I think he wants to have one more big, we remember Big Brothers, Big Sisters going to Miami. We remember going back to Cleveland. He had all the attention on himself. We remember when he signed with the Lakers. We remember when he got them to draft his son. He's not going to sit there and go out with a whimper. He wants to be a part of a big trade, and he wants to demand that the Lakers do it. LeBron James playing somewhere else this coming season. Now, speaking of Bronny was at the facility on Wednesday and was asked the obvious question. Are you paying attention to all the drama around your dad? Bronny James says, no, I'm just focused on me and getting better. So, young Peyton, you're out here on the West Coast. Your dad is the biggest Lakers fan that I know. One word is next segment. Right now, thumbs up, thumbs down on do we believe Bronny James doesn't pay attention to what's going on with his dad?
Of course he pays attention. Are you kidding? Bronny's entire existence in the league depends on his dad's drama. He's hanging on every word of this. Will he set up on the benches of Madison Square Garden, Chase Center, or back in the land in Cleveland? It's none of the above. He's staying in LA, but of course he is listening to this nonsense.
Thumbs up. I think he's too busy playing video games. I don't know that he really cares that much. He's just happy to be in the league and have a job that pays him more than the video game streaming. So no, thumbs up for Bronny.
I'm gonna piggyback off that Seabass, but in a different way. I'm going thumbs up as well because Peyton, I know you don't realize this, even though your dad is very much up there. But I have a very close friend, Jonathan Coachman. He doesn't hear the noise around, right? And so I put myself in his shoes. When you have so much noise that happens on a consistent basis, you don't hear that noise that's happening, and so because of that, I think he does just kind of ignore the drama.
I appreciate the respect, but I'm going big old thumbs down, boys. I don't believe for a second that this guy's not paying attention to everything that is going on with his dad. Because think about this. If his dad gets shipped out of town, and that would be the second time that he would show how selfish he is, I will stand on this. You take the league minimum. You put winning players around you. LeBron hasn't done any of that. And how quickly. I watched a video last night of a pelican in her nest, and she had 5 babies. One of them couldn't move around. One of them didn't have what the other 4 did. You know what she did? Ate it. Threw it out of the nest, down 20 feet to its death below. Didn't care about that one. I feel like a pelican right now on the West Coast. That LeBron doesn't care about the future of his son in year number 2. And I understand that was a horrible analogy, but it felt good at the time.
Coach, a little too early for a little bird analogy.
Producer man, would you care to throw up said picture one more time as DG wants to ruin my flow? Just like this morning, apparently everybody in the Greer household was ruining his flow. That is too early on a morning for bird anything. Don't make me show it again. Now, final topic here, thumbs up, thumbs down. DeAndre Ayton gets a buyout from the Portland Trail Blazers. He's not the biggest flop ever from that number 1 position or even a top 5 pick, but he's got game. He can play when he's motivated. He's signing a deal with the Lakers. Thumbs up, thumbs down. This will be enough for Rich Paul and LeBron to want to stay in L.A., young Peyton?
Thumbs down. Yeah, a big guy will suffice. But no, it's not DeAndre Ayton. Might as well just keep Jackson Hayes from last year. Why can't Jackson Hayes just be a Derek Lively to Luka again? I don't see why. And also DeAndre Ayton, come on, he's going to get upset that he's not getting the ball enough from Luka and LeBron.
Yeah, thumbs down. Ayton, solid player, but nothing that he's going to do is going to change anything for the Lakers. I mean, this is another number 1 overall pick. I think LeBron's played with like 11 number 1 overall picks in his career, and none of them have produced much of anything for him. I don't think it's the move for the Lakers.
Yeah, once again, I'm going to go unanimous with the other 2 guys. I'm going thumbs down. I hate DeAndre Ayton in his game. Like, it just completely sucks. And then you have to pair him now with a guy who is a basketball savant and JJ Redick as his coach. You could not get a more oil and vinegar matchup here. It's ugly. He's going to be the reason that LeBron either leaves or completely retires in the middle of the season.
I gotta make this 4 for 4. I mean, and don't you guys hate it when a player, and I don't know him as a human being, it's not about him personally, but when somebody makes so much money for essentially being 7 feet tall, that's what we're talking about here. That's what we're talking about here. Are you kidding me? I hate when guys make 70, 80, 90, $100 million. Who's the other guy that with Portland that was the number 1 pick? That his knees went bad, so he only played like a year and a half from Ohio State.
The guy looked like LeBron's father, Greg Oden.
Greg Oden. Greg Oden, that's right. My goodness. All right, if you're watching on YouTube right now, we got Round the Diamond coming up with young Peyton and my man, Little Marky Model. No, it'll be Big Marky today. And then on the other side, one word, did the Knicks get it right? Did the Spurs in the NBA get it right? And Clayton Kershaw, where do we rate him? It's a beautiful July 3rd morning right here. This is Coach and Company live, as always, on Stadium.
Oh, yeah, little Marky model. Time for Around the Diamond. We're bringing in Mark from JTS. Where are you headed today, Mark? Where are we going?
Well, first of all, we're going to start off not on mute, Peyton. And we're going to start this one with a team-specific no-run first inning play at -125. And we're going to target the Colorado Rockies, who are facing Houston's Brandon Walter. And we're going to target the Washington Nationals, who are facing Detroit's rookie sensation, Dennis Enns. Both these pitchers are a perfect 6-0 Nerfy in the first inning, in their splits. I love this spot for both, as the Rockies they've hit the Nerfy in 8 of their last 10 games, and Nationals have done it in 7 of their last 10. Look for both of these pitchers to get through the first cleanly. I love this spot at -125. We're next going to go to Toronto and the Yankees, where the Yankees are playing in Toronto. We're going to take over 8.5 runs at -120. Look, all 3 games this series have gone well past this over. Chris Bassett, the other Chris Bassett, not our 5-star chef, is pitching for Toronto. He's got an ERA north of 4. The Yankee bats have absolutely lit him up over their career. I love this spot for the over. Book it at 120.
Love it, Mark. Yankees, Blue Jays have had some really high-scoring games. Rockies, Nats, Nerfy. According to Mark, you might as well just show up in the second inning if you're going to the game, right? Is that what you're saying here, Mark?
At least for their half of the inning, yes. Their half of the inning is going to be nice and quiet.
Oh, yeah, team-specific, right? You said
Yep.
team-specific.
That's
All
right.
right, sweet. How's the model been on the diamond?
So far, last night we went 13-4. So overall, a fantastic night.
13-4 sounds like an Angels month of June to me. What do you think?
It sounds like a Yankees-Toronto score, hopefully.
Yankees-Toronto score. Okay, Mark, real quick. We have 15 seconds. Give me your World Series team.
World Series team, it'll be the Dodgers and, the Dodgers and somebody.
Dodgers and somebody. Not a bad way to go. You can scan the QR code right there. Catch us Tuesdays and Thursdays here on Coach and Company. Mark, thanks so much. Always fun. We'll be back on Stadium.
All right, everybody, welcome back into Coach and Company. I am the coach. I navigate this ship every single weekday. We are live on the Stadium Network. We have just crossed the bottom of the hour, about 10:32 in the east, 7:32 in the west. If you're just getting up, thank you for hanging out with us here on Prime Video, on DirecTV, on YouTube TV, on LG, Vizio. Over 100 million homes we are in every single day, and we certainly do not overlook that. We love that, and we love Stadium. All right. Now, we just had an incredible thumbs up and thumbs down segment. I need to see my boy Rafi one more time, because Raphael, we're now seeing coaches getting jobs, coaches losing wins, WNBA players unhappy. Do you have anything for me right now?
I'll take the New York Knicks, Mike Brown. Rent, don't buy when you get that next job, because I'm hearing if you have a bad start, you'll be shipped out. Because let's face it, he was not the first head coach they wanted. They wanted 5 others before they picked Mike Brown. I think this is just a safe net, because I still think they have their eyes on somebody else. So rent, don't buy, because I will be putting odds on how long Mike Brown will be on the Knicks bench.
Really? I mean, what are we thinking about as far as years are concerned on the over-under? Have you even thought about that yet?
If they don't win the East, I think New York will want them out, just the way how the East is set up. If they don't win the East, I think they want them out.
Wow. I don't know if any coach has ever made more money for coaching less than potentially Mike Brown. Because are we bothering you?
Sorry, I was trying to just look at my phone. Didn't know what was happening with Raphael talking about the WNBA again. My God. I'm
So
kidding.
maybe
I
you're
love it.
Raphael, my apologies. My apologies that the crew is not so enraptured by your take on Mike Brown getting fired after one season and collecting $20 million to sit out. My bad. I appreciate you. I appreciate you.
Thanks, Coach. I appreciate you as well.
Thank you. Now, we'd like to keep it simple. I got to make sure all my guys are paying attention, because right now, a very special hoops edition of one word. right, gentlemen, we're going to start right there where Raphael left off. We think Mike Brown going to be the next head coach of the New York Knicks. I personally love this man and worked with him for several months, I believe, at ESPN. He's had 5 stops. He coached LeBron. He's coached the Lakers. He's coached at Golden State. He's coached at Sacramento. Now he goes to the Big Apple. Young Peyton, one word on the Knicks hiring Mike Brown as their next head coach.
Boring. Out of all the coaches available and with the opportunity to make a splash and bring in excitement to the Garden, you replace Tibbs with Mike Brown? That is boring. Super nice guy, but really? I mean, how about the pressure this guy is under too? To not just make the playoffs, but to make the finals. If the Knicks don't make the finals next year, it's an unsuccessful season. But Mike Brown, boring.
I'm going to go moody because it's going to be a moody atmosphere in New York. Is going to determine how long he remains the coach there. If they're winning, it's going to be great. Everybody's moods will be fantastic. If they're losing, it's going to be really bad for him. I honestly believe LeBron was the downfall of his coaching career. They did him dirty when he was there, and I think Mike Brown is a good coach. I think he has the tools that can make the team good and get to that next level, but it's a moody hire.
I'm going to go with the one word of bench. Tibbs never used his bench, but we're going to see Mike Brown use his bench much more. This team should be more well-rounded other than the way that Tibbs was honestly using. There's 5, maybe 6 guys he used on a consistent basis. He's going to go 8 deep there in New York and actually make this a more well-rounded team.
My one word is chance. Is he finally going to get a real chance to be a head coach in the NBA? Almost every single stop so far, guys, something has happened, and he hasn't been able to fill out the contract. He's not doing even a season or 2. He's always the guy they bring in, and he's always the nice guy. He doesn't say anything. He doesn't bitch about anything. Well, how about we give him a chance to put his own spin and his own personality on this particular team? Just give him a chance. We'll see what happens. Now, I do kind of agree with the boring one, though, also, that there's a lot of good assistant coaches out there that never get an opportunity because we recycle the same ones over and over. And Mike Brown's one of those. But that's what it is. Now, speaking of coaches, topic number 2. In San Antonio, Greg Popovich, maybe the most beloved coach in NBA history. He had to step down because of health issues last November. He's staying on as the team's president and kind of the mentor to all the players who absolutely love this man. So today, the NBA and the Spurs agreed that they would take 77 games away from Mr. Popovich because he didn't coach those games, and they gave it to the new head coach of the Spurs. Young Peyton, one word on, is this fair?
Yeah, my one word is justified. As much as I hate to say it, I think I agree. He wasn't there. He wasn't even in the building. I know those were his players running the system, the same system, but for those games while Pop was recuperating, it was Mitch Johnson steering the ship, so he deserves the W's, and Pop will be the first one to tell you Johnson should get credit for those wins.
Yeah, I think it's inconsequential. He's still the all-time winningest coach in the NBA. It's the right move that needed to be made. They're keeping him on as the coach, Mitch Johnson's coach. Popovich going to the office. He's probably the one who said, hey, I don't want these wins. Give them to him.
When I think of Coach Popovich, I think of 2 different one words. It's going to be GOAT, which is understandable. He's the most winningest coach in all the league, but selfless. Like, he is a guy who puts his team, his players, his staff above him. I wouldn't be shocked, just like Seabass said, if this came down from him saying, hey, let's move these wins over to Johnson.
And my one word is kind of along those lines, guys, humble. This man, more and more of these stories are starting to come out about all of the things that Greg Popovich did during his coaching career. It's why he was able to get all these players to come there. There was one player, I can't remember who it was. It was on a podcast where he talked about, he's from Seattle. You probably know what I'm talking about, DG. And he was kind of from the streets, and he had some members of his friend group, and his mother got shot. And Greg Popovich, on his own, called the mother and tried to move her to San Antonio on his own dime without the player even knowing. It blew my mind. And I can't remember the player. He was a really good player, too.
I think it's DeJounte Murray.
There you go. DeJounte Murray. That's who it was. Exactly. Popovich, man, beloved. Hopefully he can hang around for a while because even though he's not on the sidelines, he can still help a lot of players. Now, let's turn our attention to the WNBA. We've been talking all week about their plans to expand. So next season, Toronto and Portland are scheduled to be on the docket. And then in 2028, Cleveland, 2029, Detroit, 2030, Philadelphia. All 5 cities already have an NBA franchise. However, Sophie Cunningham, the Fever Guard, she says, hey, I don't think I like this. Cleveland and Detroit have already had WNBA franchises, and they went away. Why would you bring them back? Young Peyton, one word on the WNBA expanding to 5 cities when they don't even turn a profit?
Genius, because Sophie Cunningham is absolutely right. I'm not talking about the WNBA. The league is already watered down, making some of these games almost unwatchable. Plus, if the league is already losing a ton of money with the teams that they do have, now you want to add more teams. Bad idea. Making Sophie very smart and genius.
Commendable on Sophie Cunningham's part, not the WNBA. I don't understand why we're expanding at this point. You've got a great product right now, or a product that is becoming greater with the talent that's coming in. Why not get rid? There's a lot of older talent in the WNBA that can still play, but if you're trying to grow the game, you want it to become younger, you want it to be more competitive. Keep the league at the teams that it is now until you start to turn a profit. Then you can start to grow. But growing a business that's losing money makes 0 sense.
Yeah, crackers are good unless they're stale. Just like the WNBA is happening right now. It's becoming stale. Like, send this to a better city. Send this to a summertime city. Send this to beautiful Nashville. There's so many people on Broadway. I bet they would hang out and go to a WNBA game during the summertime for sure.
It's funny you should mention that because she said Miami, Nashville, or Kansas City would have been great selections. My one word is less, as in less in this case is more. I don't want to see the players complaining because they only make $74,000 a year and basically a max salary. So we're expanding. So all of that money is going to be divided up amongst more players from their media rights deal. These players need to be making more money. The last player on an expansion team's bench is inconsequential, to use another one word. This is dumb. This is stupid. And I would love to know that phone call when all 5 of these NBA owners said, WNBA on line 1. Oh, we're not taking that call because they knew it was going to be a losing call. How do you think those went, young Peyton, when those owners got the call? Would you take on a $5 million loss just because?
No. Of course they wouldn't. That's why they remain owners, because they don't make decisions like that.
Seabass, what do you think those calls went like?
Well, I don't know. The big, beautiful bill, maybe they're going to get a tax break on it, right? It might be a winning proposition at this point. You just lost, write that thing off. Then I get more over here.
Interesting, DG.
I think it honestly is better, has potential than it ever has, because we're talking about Caitlin Clark, but also like Angel Reese, Asia Wilson, Nafisa Collier. There's so many good players in this league that are making, the billboard, like they're making big names. And so because of that, I think there is opportunity for these owners for sure.
We'll see. I know a lot of owners, especially, they hate parting ways with money. I love owners like Mark Cuban or guys that understand I make my money over here. Let's have some fun over here. Because if I was worth $9, $10, $11 billion, I would take 3 of it and be like, I want to be the greatest owner of all time. I want to be the owner that everybody wants to come and play for. That's how I would do it. A lot of them, they don't want to spend a dime. I don't think they want to spend it here either. We'll see. Gentlemen, well done on one word. Still to come on the other side, Clayton Kershaw making noise. Excuse me, and breaking records. We'll discuss him as we are going through a July 3rd edition. Remember, we'll be here tomorrow eating hot dogs. Maybe. It's Coach and Company, live as always, right here on Stadium. Anybody. I mean, anybody. Let's go back. Christmas 2005. Who do you think Ric Flair wrestled during the tribute to the troops in the middle of the desert in Afghanistan? I'll give you one guess.
Bob Hope. Was it the coach?
It was the coach, baby. It was the coach. Now, what's so funny about that is that, and you've been around Rick, Rick respects everybody. And Rick just loves the saying, let's just call it out there.
Oh, baby.
Let's just call it out there. So I walked in, of course, Triple H is sitting by Rick. He always loved to dress next to Rick. And I go, hey, Rick, they need an extra match today. It's going to be me and you, 8-10 minutes, figure 4. I was trying to act cool. So he's doing up his boots, and he looks up and goes, all right, let's just call it out there. So I stood there very awkwardly. I'm looking around the locker room, and I go, Rick, I'm not sure if you're aware of this. My name is not Shawn Michaels. And if we call it out there, it's going to be the fastest absolute train wreck you've ever seen in your life. And on top of that, Nick, I had never taken the figure 4 before. So at some point, the fear took over my body because I thought if I put my leg up above my knee, then I'm going to tear my ACL because, right? So they affectionately, after that match, called it the figure 2.
Yeah. So that's what Miz has been doing this whole time. He wasn't messing it up. He's just an old school fan. Oh, wow.
You can see that every single weekday, 2 to 4 Eastern time on Sirius XM, brand new Pro Wrestling Nation 24/7. I absolutely loved the first 2 days, and I cannot believe that they are allowing us to be a part of it, but we're bringing our entire universe to the Sirius XM Nation. So please, I encourage you to check that out every single weekday. Today, me and Mark Henry will be getting down at 2 p.m. Eastern time on channel 156. All right, we continue on here on a glorious Thursday morning. We are back live in just 5 seconds. So it was a kind of a mixed bag of emotion last night for the LA Dodgers. The part that wasn't so great, Max Muncy, a gruesome looking knee injury in their 5-4 win. That was the bad part. The good part was Clayton Kershaw became the 20th pitcher all time and the 4th left-handed to get to 3,000 strikeouts. Young Peyton, you're on the West Coast. Your dad does the pregame show for the Angels. The I-5 series is huge. Clayton Kershaw has pitched at Angel Stadium a bunch of times, so you are very qualified for this question. Where would you put this on the mountain of accomplishments in baseball for Mr. Clayton Kershaw?
On the mountain of accomplishments, I'm going to put it at the very top because this is the last time you're ever going to see someone strike out 3,000 batters. Pitchers just don't throw enough innings anymore. Zach Greinke is 21 strikeouts short with 2,979, and I don't think he's making a comeback anytime soon. Let's put some respect on Kershaw's name. This is a guy who's been through hell and back with all his injuries, and for him to come back and continue to pitch for the Dodgers now at 37 years old, 3.43 ERA, nothing but respect for Clayton Kershaw and what he's accomplished in his career. But this is the last time you're going to see a pitcher reach 3,000.
That's the great nugget by you. And he said after the game, it's really hard, Seabass, when you're actually trying to get a strikeout. And he said he was trying because Freddie Freeman came over and said, hey, you're one away. And I guess he didn't know, or he's not admitting to know. Where would you put this at for you?
He's top 4 lefty. He's on the Mount Rushmore of left-handed pitchers. I mean, he was solid. I mean, he fought injury later part of his career, but 3,000 strikeouts is a great accomplishment, and he's one of the all-time great lefties.
DG, where would you put Mr. Kershaw?
Yeah, I would put this accomplishment his best of the best, and I'd definitely put him on the Mount Rushmore because he has shown the ability to be, consistent over his career. But I want to give it a shout out to the play-by-play for the Dodgers. I think it's John Shriffen, whatever it is. I'm sorry, I butchered it. But he said, open up the velvet rope and let him in. I know a lot of people pay attention to that kind of stuff, but when you hear a play-by-play guy just so eloquently just say the right things and lay out at the right time, it makes the moment bigger. So I wanted to give him a shout out.
You sure it was Shriffen? I thought he was voice of I think he's the voice of the White Sox. Is it Joe Davis?
It might be. So it was that guy, but it might have been the White Sox. I just was looking through everything this morning and I heard that. So maybe it was the White Sox guy, and even better to him for allowing the moment to be the moment, even on the opposing team.
Yeah, he's like a young, like, is it like a young buck as an announcer?
Wow.
We worked with him. He was like super young when he got to ESPN. He just became the voice of the White Sox when the Tigers took their voice. There's a lot of drama going on with voices, DG, these days. You just never know. Somebody's going to come in and grab somebody. Real quick, by the way, Mikey P in the chat was weighing in on the LeBron James stuff. And DG, he believes that LeBron will go to Golden State.
Please no.
It's just almost impossible with all the money. They would have to send out Draymond, which I know they would be down to do, but Draymond is LeBron's boy. So I don't know how the money would actually work there. He's getting paid like 53, 54. It would take a lot to move LeBron.
And that's why, if that was going to happen, he should have opted out. He could have taken any amount of money. That's why it's so selfish. And I love how fans go, Coach, you don't understand. This is every player's going to take every last dollar because it messes up the salary. Why would LeBron care about the salary situation for other players? He's done after this year or next year. Why would he care? He cares about $53 million, though. All right, gentlemen, a lot of people weren't here at the top of the hour. That's okay. They've got lives. They got things to do. But we're here. We're going to have another great day with a bunch of green check marks. It's time to lock it in. All right, 10 seconds or less. 1 or 2 nuggets is all I really need. We're going to start with Big Chuck at the top. He loves Christian Walker over half an RBI tonight at plus 105. Very simply, if he gets 1 RBI, we cash, and he has great numbers against Kyle Freeland. This game is the Astros and the Rockies. Mr. Rafael, talk to me next.
Going to the CFL, we're going to take the Winnipeg Blue Bombers team total over 26.5. They're averaging 32.3 points per game in their first 3 games. I think they have a field day in Calgary. And then going baseball, give me my Chicago Cubs. Total hits over 8.5 plus 110. Last night, 9 hits. Their last 10 games, almost 10 hits per game, 9.6. I think they have another field day against Cleveland pitching.
The chat loving Mr. Payton. The JC1 says young lettuce with facts. Give me more facts on your 2 best bets.
Well, the fact is that Big Chuck has Christian Walker at 1. That's 1 of 9 guys for the Astros who's going to have an RBI today. We're going to have a ton of runs today at Coors Field with the weather at 90 degrees. And we'll also take the Mariners to cover at home. My app keeps switching up if it's Brian Liu or the other guy. What's his name? Lucas, you said? I don't know. Raphael was saying. But I don't know. It's one of the 2. We'll see who it is. I think.
Yeah, who cares?
Doesn't matter. They're winning anyway.
Seriously, I don't care who it is. I'm thinking.
It doesn't. I got you. All right, Seabass, talk to me.
Yeah, we're going to go Angels first 3 innings on the money line over the Braves today. Bryce Elder is horrible at home with a 6.5 ERA. Meanwhile, Soriano's a little bit better over there at 2.5, 2.7 ERA. He's not only given up about 7 runs in his last 5 road starts over the course of those 3 innings or 15 innings, whereas Elder's given up 17. So give me the Angels on the money line in the first 3 innings. And then the WNBA, take the Phoenix Mercury under 23.5 points in the first quarter. Dallas has done only allows about 20, and they've gone under in 82% of their games so far this year in the first quarter.
DJ?
Jackie Young over 7.5 rebounds and assists. It's at minus 118. She just had a game of 7-7 going up against the Fever just 2 weeks ago. And yes, Bryce Elder is horrible, but we only need 5 strikeouts. It's at minus 120, and the Angels have allowed 5+ strikeouts in 7 of the last 9 games, so why not?
All right, quickly, before we put up the JTS play, oh, there it is right there. That's my bad because I didn't tell producer man. Leave it right there. Mark, what is our JTS play of the day?
We're going to start with LA Sparks' Derek Hamby to get over 20 points and rebounds tonight against the Liberty, something she's done in 8 of her last 9 road games. We're going to pair that with Miami Marlins' Xavier Edwards to get at least 1 hit, something he has done in 10 of his last 12 home games, and he's been over in all 5 career games against Minnesota. Put them both together for plus 108, just a Stat Sports play of the day.
And there is the QR code. We want everybody to be a part of it. So many of you have already used our code BTT30, and we give you the first 30 days for free. Now, it doesn't matter the day. We always want to make you a smarter sports fan. How do we do that today, Raphael?
Well, really quick, another pitching change. Cleveland did a pitching change against the Chicago Cubs, so make sure you look at that before you place your bets. The Atlanta Braves have hit the under 11 out of their last 12 games as a favorite, following a win after scoring 5 runs or more.
Good Lord. That's a lot of prerequisites to get to the Braves right there. I love it. DG, it's your team. It's your squad.
I feel like that Raphael is taking this personal, not being invited to weekday wagers, because even though we are live at 2 p.m. Monday through Friday, the best show in the business on at 2 p.m., other than your show, Coach. But Raphael just is not being invited ever.
What do I do now?
So real quick, Peyton, have you ever been invited to weekday wagers?
Last Friday, we had a heck of a time, Coach.
Wow. Seabass, you've been on weekday wagers, right?
I have.
Interesting. So apparently the only 2 people that have not been on weekday wagers is you, Raphael, and your boy.
They just don't like ratings.
Apparently not. Apparently not. Gentlemen, well done today. If you're not here tomorrow, have a happy 4th of July. It is now time for you to go out into the world, pay it forward, and remember, Coach and Bro on demand at our BTT YouTube page. Off the ropes every day, 2 p.m. Eastern on SiriusXM Pro Wrestling Nation 24/7. And of course, we're here every single day. We have more content than you could possibly ask for. And understand there's only one thing left to do. And I believe you all know what that is. You've got your marching orders. Let's take all of these, take it straight to the pay window. My entire crew. Damn it, do I love them all. My man Seabass, my man DG, King Lettuce, Mark, Raphael, producer man. Special start time, by the way, Coach and Bro, 5:30 today. This has been Coach and Company. What else do you want? We're live, as always, on Stadium. Take care.